morning once again, and welcome to the Haven Financial Group radio show. We certainly appreciate you listening this morning. If anything resonates, whenever, this week, next week, 10 weeks from now, 612-504-8400. Visit us online at havenfinancialgroup.com. All kinds of great tools, calendar of events, et cetera, et cetera. Kim, a takeaway from the last segment when we're talking about Social Security. If you're listening and you're contemplating taking Social Security, don't know whether you should or shouldn't, if you're married, single, that would be a good reason for you to come on in and visit with us. There's no cost. We'll sit down for a half hour to hour and a half. We're not in any rush. You'll leave with a Social Security maximization report. I call it the roadmap for Social Security. Good, better, best, based upon your circumstances. If you're married, both of your circumstances, what is the optimal time to take? And it's really a roadmap. It's very helpful. There is no cost. I think you'd find it very enlightening. Before you turn it on, how about you get educated, make an educated decision so you know with confidence it was the right decision and you're not questioning, did I make the right decision or did I not make the right decision?
Mm-hmm.
We can help you get a good understanding of that.
Absolutely. 612-504-8400 is how you reach the folks at Haven Financial Group. This final segment, and we've been talking about what it takes to retire. We want to talk a little bit about that transitional period, the 5 years before you retire, and some of the mistakes that you absolutely want to avoid so you don't set yourself up for, maybe some hidden mistakes once you do get to retirement. So we're talking about, again, that 5 year or so period prior to you stepping out of the workforce and starting your retirement. And the first thing we would talk about is planning to work indefinitely. During that 5 year period, that's a lot of, that is frequently, it seems like, Larry, the time when people go, I don't think I am going to actually stop working. I think I'll just keep working forever.
Yeah, planning to work indefinitely. Hey, great goal. But I can't tell you how frequently we hear, life's calendar didn't cooperate again.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? We ran into health issues. Unfortunately, that changed. Job market changed. They got a pink slip. We hear it way too often. The average American has a goal of retiring, but oftentimes 2 to 3 years earlier is what actually happens. So that's a dangerous misconception. Another is avoiding the stock market. We have an investment team of 12. We manage a large amount with Charles Schwab and Fidelity in the stock market. We're not against it. Long term, the market performs better than anything. However, as we gear towards retirees, not limited in scope because we can help any age, but retirement is really our focus. Is in many of them, the element of time has become shorter. So, hey, shying away from the stock market can really hinder growth. But at the same token, we want people to be in a balanced position, and many people are unaware. So if you don't know how much risk you're taking, come on in and we'll stress test that portfolio to make sure you don't have as much stress when the markets are real volatile. So that's another misconception. And one we already talked about throughout the show here a little bit is claiming Social Security at the wrong time. Let's make an educated decision. We can help with that as well.
Absolutely. Larry, when you talk to folks and they say, I'm about 5 years out, tell me, do you change things, make big changes? I mean, in their planning, their strategy, is that a really volatile time? Is that a good time to come and see you, when you're in those last few years of the accumulation?
Well, I'm kind of biased, obviously. I think any time is a good time to come and see us. I mean, come in and visit with us anytime. But you are right. That 5 year time frame, whatever it is, oftentimes as they get closer to retirement, taking the foot off the gas pedal as it relates to risk or the markets. And, it really depends upon people's comfort level. What are they trying to accomplish? Are they trying to double their portfolio in 5 to 7 years? Well, that requires a little bit of different plan than, hey, I'm more comfortable than I need to, and I don't need to gamble as much in the market. So it's where we sit down and have a conversation, numerous conversations in a lot of cases, just to make sure at the right place at the right time. Are you willing to have risk? Do you need to have risk? And do you have the ability to take risk? It's kind of how we answer those questions. That's important. Another one I would say is mistakes in retirement, and I think this is a big one, ignoring long-term care needs. Okay, statistic, Glenn has been on with us before. 70% of us are going to need some sort of long-term care. I hate to say it, 7 out of 10. If you had a room of 10 and 7 of that's kind of scary. And in the Twin Cities, ballpark per nursing home, 15,000 a month. Okay, you could say you're self-funded, but guess what? There's probably some other viable options other than traditional long-term care. If you haven't looked at it, maybe Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, or those ugly things run in the family. If you've dealt with a loved one in the nursing home, you know exactly what I'm talking about right now. How have we planned for it? Medicare is not long-term care. There's much better viable options. Come in and visit with Glenn about asset-based long-term care where you don't if you don't use it, you don't lose it. Long-term care annuities, hybrid long-term care. That is such a big one. Don't avoid the long-term care discussion. Is it a fit or isn't a fit? Let's start with the conversation.
Absolutely. One of the other issues I think in that 5-year window is when you really want to start talking about taxes and how you're going to approach the tax issue.
Forward-thinking tax planning. Are you having tax discussions, planning discussions, or are you like many in society today that drop off, pick up? Hear this often, heard it last week, probably a handful of times. We don't even talk to our tax preparer. We drop off and pick up. That is not enough attention as you get closer to retirement, and now Social Security is turned on, eventually required minimum distributions, different income streams, different tax classification. Are you drawing from the right accounts in the most tax efficient way possible? Many don't even know, and many are not, and you worked hard for every dollar you have, and why would you give Uncle Sam extra just because you don't know? Have a partner that can walk through these things with you. And just making sure you're doing the right decisions. Borrowing from retirement accounts prior to retirement, that can decimate or really jeopardize, your retirement security in retirement. We don't want to do that. Our Haven investment team, we rebalance portfolios. Not adjusting portfolios can be detrimental as far as performance goes. And if you're doing it yourself or don't have a good partner, and if you don't know if this is being done, tax loss harvesting accounts to benefit for tax reasons. All of this is what a good partner should be doing. Yet if you don't have a partner, it's probably not being done. What you don't know can hurt you, but it can hurt the results. And that's what we're trying to avoid, is hurting the results, not hurting the results, but helping with good results.
Sure. And finally, you really have to kind of have a backup plan if things go awry.
Well, a plan is as good as a plan is. Things happen, life happens. Oh my goodness, I end up retiring 3 years earlier. We have to think outside the box here a little bit. And when we build out retirement plans, we are thinking, okay, well, what if we don't retire at 67 or 65? What if we don't get as good of returns, or what if inflation isn't 2%, the target for the U.S. government, and it's 3%? We factor in higher inflation because inflation's a game changer. So we want to factor in retirement planning, the what if this, what if this, what if that, because these things tend to creep up on us, and they do happen. We want to be prepared. You don't put it on the shelf and just leave it there for 20 years. We want to revisit this. And I say this, our job description at Haven, no matter what research that you confide in us in, is to answer questions, educate. And I always say there's no quota as to how many times you can get together with us. I always say we're not in any hurry. We have a laid back approach. If it requires you coming in on a monthly or quarterly basis, that's fine. We have some that say we don't need that much attention. And we have some that say, we do need more attention. It's whatever the attention you deserve, because you're paying for the attention. And my question is, what are you paying? What value are you getting? And at the end of the day, is it really a good value to getting together once a year to talk about all these retirement topics and paying what doesn't make sense? And I see a lot of ththings that don't make sense. So if this is resonating, it's why we're here.
Absolutely. 612-504-8400. Whether you're a young person who is just starting to accumulate and you're looking for a little guidance on how to make sure that you're building a foundation, or you're within that 5 years and you're about to make that transition and you're hoping to avoid the kinds of mistakes that we've just been talking about, give the folks at Haven Financial Group a call. 612-504-8400 is how you reach them. Tell them you've heard us here on the radio and you'd like to come in and sit down, set up an appointment, and talk with them about your financial future, about your retirement. Larry, we've had some great info.
We have. Always good to be with you. Let's enjoy these dog days of summer because we know how fast they go. Again, thanks for listening. We'd love to visit more. We'll see you next week.